way to defend the Trump White House against allegations of quid pro quo with Ukraine in exchange for a possible impeachable favor. First, let's just hear how Graham and the hosts of Fox and Friends recently described quid pro quo as a bad thing.
If the president said, I'll give you the money, but you got to investigate Joe Biden, that is really off the rails wrong.
If you're looking for a circumstance where the President of the United States was threatening the Ukraine with cutting off aid unless they investigated his political opponent, you would be very disappointed. That does not exist.
Now Senator Graham has evolved a bit on that, saying the Trump team is too inept to pull off quid pro quo.
What I can tell you about the Trump policy toward the Ukraine, it was incoherent. It depends on who you talk to. They seem to be incapable of forming a quid pro quo.
So let's hear from Chris Eliza on this one. And how do you describe this? Is this the evolution of Lindsey Graham?
I mean, so you calling it an evolution is like the nicest possible way. Just
How would you say it? How would you say
you're
it?
You're a kind and charitable person, Brooke. Look, this seems to me a moving of the goalpost, not just further down the field, but into the stands and then out of the stadium entirely as it relates to Lindsey Graham. I wrote about this yesterday. That last thing that you played, this administration is too incompetent to possibly do anything wrong. Man, I wish I had that excuse to have given my parents back in the day when they accused me of doing it. I'm a total moron. I would never do that. Anyway, I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have because it's striking, those clips you played, I think we have another clip of the evolution, wink, wink, of Lindsey Graham on this issue. Lindsey Graham essentially changing his position on what constitutes a point at which he would take these threats against Donald Trump's presidency seriously. I think we have that. Let's play that.
If you're looking for a circumstance where the President of the United States was threatening the Ukraine with cutting off aid unless they investigated his political opponent, you would be very disappointed. That does not exist. If you could show me that, Trump actually was engaging in a quid pro quo outside the phone call, that would be very disturbing. He keeps telling me that the phone call was perfect. I'm saying, Mr. President, the phone call was okay with me. I've written the whole process off. I'm written him off. I think this is a bunch of BS. I'm not going to read these transcripts. The whole process is a joke. What I can tell you about the Trump policy toward the Ukraine, it was incoherent. It depends on who you talk to. They seem to be incapable of forming a quid pro quo. To impeach any president over a phone call like this would be insane.
Yeah, you get the idea. Shout out to your producers and video editors. I mean, I really think that's 50-ish seconds. Lindsey Graham says it better than I could, Brooke.
Yeah. Chelsea Cook, shout out to you. So the evolution of Lindsey Graham leads me to the evolution of Trump supporters who have been changing their tune on Ambassador Sondland now that Sondland has refreshed, revised his story.
Yes, Gordon Sondland, the ambassador to the European Union, also has evolved as it relates to his testimony behind closed doors, where he says, well, actually now in early September, I did in fact tell a top Ukrainian official that I thought that the military aid was tied to them opening investigations of the Bidens, which complicates a lot of explanations from Republicans. Let's just play how they've handled it from a few.
Sondland's opening statement, and he says exactly what President Zelensky said, exactly what President Trump said, no quid pro quo whatsoever. You all want to make a big deal out of Mr. Sondland's presumption. He says it was his presumption.
Gordon Sondland then sends a text to Bill Taylor that says, I think you're wrong about this. There was no quid pro quo. And I don't think that his latest revisions change that. As far as I could see, Ambassador Sondland said he presumed.
Again, Kellyanne Conway, Jim Jordan's words, I think, speak more powerfully than anything I'd add to them. Just watch those, ask your brain, does this make sense? Brooke, back to you.
Chris, thank you. President Trump is